Hey y'all, welcome back to my video. Thank you so much once again for stopping by and joining me on these short chats that I have throughout the week. I thank you so much. I want to talk about a topic regarding narratives. You control your own narrative, and that's what this video is going to be about today. But first, before we hop into the video, let's go ahead and look at the sponsor of this video, which is my brand new book, The Hush Language Mental Health Journal Youth Edition. Go ahead and check it out on my website, which will be linked down below. Check it out. Use code YAY10 for 10% off of your purchase. That's YAY10, yay, 10 for 10% off of your purchase. And while you're there, please don't forget to stop by and look at all of my other books and all the other services that I have to offer. Support your girl. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the topic of this video. So, yes, sis and bro, whoever's watching, you control your own narrative. I struggle with this, and you'll see in a lot of my video chats that I do, I say that I struggle with it. Yes, I'm human, but I struggle with this because, again, I was so closed in growing up, and so I allow people to really direct me, speak into me, um, you know, and I'm not necessarily talking about speak life and positive things, but like speak their criticism, speak what they think that I should and should not be doing, speak all this into me without really focusing and figuring out me and who I was. And so because of that, I allowed people to control my narrative, and it destroyed relationships in the process because I became so closed in, and I became thrown off for the decisions I made. Now, let me back up. Let me back up. I am in no way putting blame on anyone else for my life. I take total responsibility for my decisions. I made the decisions, so I take responsibility for them. But what I am basically saying is that I allow people to persuade me. I was very naive, to say the least. So I allow people to persuade my decisions, which ultimately ended in not so good situations. And so that was one of the things that I really wanted to work on in my life, because as I was growing up, people would speak into my ear and tell me, you don't need that person, and don't talk to that person, and this person is this towards you, and this person is that towards you, and and they would say this to me, and I felt, hey, this person has good intentions for me and want to see me succeed, and then I would operate in a sense of um, taking on their feelings, taking on the narrative that they set for me, and I would dismiss the relationship. Not so much as in I don't want to talk to you no more, but I just became very distant from them, and it really affected some friendships. But I'll tell you this, it was all a learning curve for me. It was learning experiences for me, and it really put me in the mind frame of wanting to do and be better. Now, let me tell you, at this point in my life, I only allow certain people into my life that I feel is necessary because I control that narrative. Another way that you can control your narrative is um, telling your story for you, and don't allow anyone to tell you that your story doesn't matter. And so you control your narrative on how you want to vocalize your story, on how you want to respond to the criticisms, how you want to just communicate, period. You control that narrative. Another way that you can control your narrative is for your direction you have in your life. Excuse me. The direction of things that you want to do, any goals, any dreams. You don't have to look to anyone for acknowledgement, for agreement in what you want to do in your life. You have the choice to just do it. And I'm talking about adults here. I know for youth, You may have a parent that you really have to consider and speak to and get permission for a lot of things. But in a sense, for you too, because as you're growing and getting older, you're going to be making certain decisions for yourself that your parents and your guardians may release to you to make decisions for yourself. And so you want to be in the right mind frame on making the best possible decisions that you feel is good for you at the time, in the moment. And don't get me wrong, things change, decisions change, motives change, you grow, you develop. But at the end of the day, the end result is what you're going after. Okay, and so controlling your narrative is very important. Controlling which direction you want your life to go into. Controlling your day. That is a struggle for me because sometimes people can get on my nerves. Sometimes you have to deal with people on the job. Come on, somebody. Sometimes you have to deal with people on the job that can really put a damper on your spirit. Put a damper on you to the point that you like, I want to say something, Jesus, but I can't. I'm not going to do it. You ain't about to get me in trouble, no ma'am, no sir, no turkey. But you do control the narrative of your day. You really do. And I feel that sometimes when my days don't go as good or I don't feel as well mentally or whatever, I control that. And I'm making the decision to not feel well. And sometimes, I have to deal with my own self. And so I just want to point that out there that you do control your own narrative. There's so many things that is underlying to controlling your own narrative. That is just too much for this video. But just the basics. You control your life. You control your day. You control your narrative. You control your thought process. You control the things that you want to do in your life. If you want to go back to school, you control that decision, okay, as an adult. You control that decision. I know you may have other things at play. You may have a partner or a spouse. You may have children that you have to consider, but you ultimately control that. You may have to do it a different way, from the norm, but you control it. You control that decision. You control that narrative of your life, okay? If you want to start a business, you control that. Don't nobody control that for you. And I know sometimes we can get intimidated or a little bit scared to go after and do those things, but you control it. Now, let's back up a little bit just briefly and talk about controlling um, any pain, any negativity that you've experienced in your life, any trauma. You control that as well. It can be very difficult. I know for a fact it can be very difficult because sometimes that trauma can get the best of you and you're like, oh, Jesus, I just don't know. But what I am learning is that you really have an opportunity to delve into what you want for your life and sort of put yourself in a position to balance out, to level out, and to work on that trauma and to really do things the way that you see fit for you. And I think that is so necessary and so important. But I will be having other topics and videos based on trauma because I think that that is so important. I myself experienced trauma growing up in my upbringing, and so I know I know how it feels, and I listen. Another video, okay, another video. But just a word of encouragement. Keep your head up. Don't allow people to talk your dreams and your goals and your desires down. Don't let people to sway your narrative in a direction that you don't believe it should go in. Speak up for yourself. Advocate for yourself. Be your own cheerleader. And that's what I want to say. Be your own cheerleader and really, really position yourself to do great things. It's hard. It can get tough. Girl, right now I'm a living witness. It's tough out here in these streets. For real though. But we doing it. I'm doing it. tide is all get out, but I'm doing it, you know? Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for joining me on this little chat. I try to keep them within 10 minutes. Sometimes it goes a little bit over, so I'll do my best to try to keep them under 15 minutes for now, okay? But again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this topic of the video of controlling your own narrative. And please, please, please click the link below. Go to my website. Check out my brand new book, The Hush Language Mental Health Journal. Check out all my other books that are on deck. And your support is greatly appreciated. I mean, when I tell you, when people purchase my books, my services, my products on my website, it really motivates me and helps me to keep going and to keep producing content, you know, viable content for today's market. And so that's what it's all about for me, is to touch the lives of youth, teens, of just anyone. You're strong. You are strong. You know what? Thank you again, and I really appreciate y'all. Don't forget to use code YAY10. Yay 10 for 10% off your purchase. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.